They go down 4 wide, down through turn number 1 and 2. If the Australian Modlite title is what you wanted to see, the only place to be here is at the Murray machine. Says Murray Bridge Speedway. They put on a great show for you so far tonight. Will it continue here in this Australian Championship final? Australian Modlite Championship final field.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Awesome little race cars. And a great field of South Australian and Queensland combatants who will wear the Australian one for the next 12 months and defend their title. The majority have made it through to the 25-lap final. Yeah, on paper you start through the front of the field. Dolcheski, Alexander, Rose, Lerenfeld. They're all there on the front. It's going to be an epic contest over 25 laps. The defending Australian champion Kyle Honor has got a lot of work to do. Disappointing run throughout his heats. So Golcheski sets the rolling pace down the back chute for the final time. Lights are out. Golcheski, Alexander, Rose, Fraser, Lerenfeld. Top 5. Out of turn number 3. Turn number 4, will they all get through? But it was all too late, and Rob Hardy has come into contact with the turn 4 concrete in a fairly decent way, unfortunately. The driver from Harvey Bay had a torrid time getting here. The driver around the floods actually had to turn around and go a different direction on a couple of occasions. Disappointing end. Here's the Australian title campaign. There's a beautiful race car. Lap number 37. The old Massey Ferguson being called into play down there in turn number 4.
Rob Hardy.
So still 25 up on the counter. The entire field hadn't crossed the line, so we'll go back to a complete restart. Dolcheski has tried to win this race for a number of years now, that's 74. He started on the front row of the Australian title last year at Kingaroy as well, so he gets through the heats very cleanly, just can't get it done.
I think it's kind of cactus.
At the end of the final event. Ryan Alexander wins in everything that he drives. So can he add an Australian Modlite Championship to that glittering resume that he's starting to put together? Current Australia 2 in the Super Sedans, former Australian AMCA National Champion, former SA Victorian Super Sedan champ. But tell you what, Kai, he was hopeless in a junior sedan. That's the one car that this kid couldn't drive.
We'll see how he goes here. Start, take two. Dolczewski and Alexander at the front. Behind them, Sean Rose and Fraser, that's your top four. 25 laps back up on the board. Let's try it again. Leads and out of two.
on the 28 of Ryan Alexander. So rotten luck for Ryan. Terrible night for the Yellow Motorsport team. Barney Miller out with an engine and a flat right front tyre for Ryan Alexander.
So, Ryan Alexander, ropeable, could be a word. He's out of this one. The MA Motorsports crew has been battered. Michael Miller with the engine earlier, and now that right front tyre has seen Ryan Alexander on the infield. He joins Rob Hardy, and Kyle Honor now, the Q41, looks to be pulling in as well. So that left rear has lost all the wind that was in it. So two of the heavy hitters, Ryan Alexander and the reigning Australian champion, OUT out. We will be having a new Australian champion. Well, not the reigning one anyway, I should say. Phil?
Well, that's due to the contact with the 41 of Kyle Honor. Flat right front tyre, that's the only damage on it. And you can see Ryan just sitting on that car, dejected. He just said he just can't get a break in these title events. But rotten luck, he had the speed, but now it's a Queensland 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the restart. So
Eight laps to go. 8 laps to go. Patrick is now in 5th. Patrick is in 5th place now.
No, run second, you get taken out or you don't finish.
And also, Phil, not a good look on the infield. The MA Motorsport crew it's gone, it's not good. Brock Alexander with contact just before that caution, and he finds himself on the infield as well. It's devastating considering the amount of work them guys have put into their little Modlites as well.
Yeah, 3-car effort here this evening. 3-car effort basically for the entire season. And all three of them parked up. It's got a very similar look to last couple of years ago in Kingaroy. Golczewski and Rose going for the win with the Australian title. Chesky ended up on the infield with a flat right rear tyre after contact with Rose, going for that lead. So we'll see how this pans out. Don't count out Dan Lewis back there either in the Queensland 8. Scott Webb up to 4th in that 32. Patrick Hewitt up inside the top 5 as well in that S9. It's a race of attrition.
Brian Chadwick has come to a stop on the front stretch as well. I think he's just asking a couple of questions, so hopefully the car's all A-OK. But that makes it a top 3 Queensland affair at the moment, as there's some funky stuff going on down the back straight to try and separate them cars.
Yeah, they're very much welded together down here right in front of the more mechanical Monaco Murray Bridge sign into number 3. Was a heavy hit between that 46 and the 25. As a result, probably the left front's probably got over the side nerve bar and wedged itself together. So there's still 8 laps to go.
Andrew Studley's out of the car. Now, interesting here, Phil, Terry Lerenfeld doesn't look to have undone anything in the cockpit just yet.
Oh, don't take it off until you're told to. Don't say until you know that the car is too far damaged to continue. They are solidly welded together. So the rest of the crew just being told to park up while instead of rolling around and wasting racing fuel. So it could be a bit of a time between our caution period here.
So while we've got the moment...
All right, while they're separating these cars, I'll stop it. And, actually, I'll pause it. And we'll go. We've got 8 laps up on the board for the restart. So be back shortly. All right, now we're back on again. The cars are started up. 8 laps to go.
Behind Sean Rose.
Apparently the car that was running second, that was tangled up with the lap car, is actually back in his position too. So Patrick's now running. Patrick's now back in the 6th place. 6th place. Here he comes past now. 6th place. So it's interstate cars 1 to 4. Scott Webb, South Australia, is 5th. Patrick is 6th. Lights are out. We're going to go back to green coming around in turns 3 and 4 for the last 8 laps.
8-lap run to the flag to decide the 2021 Australian Modlite champion, thanks to Gunspray. It was Modlite's Australian Modlite's SA doing some superb work to get this event run here this evening. Golcheski lead away. The 25 gets his spot back in second.
They're at the go green.
There's Sean Rose.
starting to get there in turn 3 and 4. Armstrong bouncing on into the infield part of turn 4. Got a caution with 4 to go.
Did Terry Lerenfeld just show his cards? He was running the top side as the yellow light came out. So Golczewski now knows at the 25, he's going to run the top. Golczewski, will he go conservative and run the bottom, or will he throw caution to the wind and run the top side? Sean Rose also has been running the outside group for a majority of this race. So will he go for the outside run? Take lap traffic out of it. The lap traffic is not a factor anymore. 4 to go. You'd have to assume from now that a Queensland victory will again secure, or will once again claim this Australian Championship. I saw Jamie McHugh win this Australian title at Archerfield about 6 or 7 years ago, where he went back to back. Terry Lerenfeld, of course, is a 2-time champion. Will he make it 3, or will Golczewski add his name to the winners list? Plenty of questions to be answered with this in this final 4 laps. Can a South Aussie make the podium? Can Scotty Webb creep his way up to at least 3rd here? Plenty of questions. They're about to give us the answers, Kai, with 4 to go.
Golczewski leads. Lerenfeld right behind him. Rose, Dan Lewis and Scotty Webb. That's your top 5. 4 laps to go in the Modlite Australian title.
There we go.
So there we go. Sam Golczewski, the Q74, has held on to it for the majority and has crossed the line first, and is now your provisional Australian title holder. Of course, just go across the scales and checks post race back in the pits, but if he passes the scales, it'll be a fairly good start. Second, the Q25 of Terry Lerenfeld. Third across the line was the Q56 of Sean Rose, Australia number 3. Australia number 4, the Q8 of Dan Lewis and Scotty Webb managed to hold on to the top 5. Folks, as he comes out on track,